We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team that wins.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Second down, it's Henderson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback's got us.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. This throw caught, right around the 6. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Flynn. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Let's go! Let's go!
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
A very solid gain of 27.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now this throw caught left side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings for some reason it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Let's go.
Back to throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Herndon's got it complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing at the receiver.
They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And that goes for a gain of 31. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do, put a man on him. The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll run here with Henderson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dante Pettis. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 6. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and run for it. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Remember, that was fourth and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? Just a quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Finds a man with a crossing route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll set up to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Joker, protein spill.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So we have reached, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
31 yards there and a first down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll drop to throw. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
I absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone.
Back to throw again. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flynn. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Henderson now on 1st and 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Now back to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one is right through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
The way with the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Nice job of polishing off that drive, and all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now, because as you...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they take possession of the football and have it at their 36-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back to throw. Touchdown, Packers! A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they do.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a handoff here to his running back. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
This quarterback now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of... behind it. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score. Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
He's going to rifle one deep left. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. He'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
On the ready.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Get it.
They'll look to throw here. That's taken in by Henderson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Letting one. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you